Oh man, I know y'all wanted to hear my thoughts on this one, man. God, dog, I know it's late, but boy, the coach has been working wide open. Guys, let's talk about this fight, man. I love both of these fighters. This fight was hard. This fight was hard for the coach to just sit here and watch. It was difficult. I mean, guys, it really was. Okay, because me and Kaitlin Young, we mad cool. Me and Cindy Dandois, look, man, me and Cindy. I tell you what, boy, Coach loves Cindy. That's all I got to tell y'all. But let's go ahead and talk about this fight. Listen, man, this is a classic striker versus grappler. That's just what this was, man. I tell you what, though, I was shocked, man. Cindy Dandois, she looked a lot better and looked more comfortable standing. Now, was she on the level of a Kaitlin striking Viking? Well, no, that's gonna be a hell no. But did she look a little bit more comfortable standing? Yes, she did. The majority of this fight, it was Cindy Dandois pressing forward. And part of me wished, man, I was like, man, I wish Cindy had some hands. I wish Cindy had some hands because she would have done even better in this particular fight. We knew what Cindy's game plan was. We knew that she was trying to find a way to close the distance so she can start, getting into the grappling and the clinching and using her judo. I mean, we knew that this was the case, okay? So this is not anything new, okay? Kaitlin Young knew that this was true. Kaitlin Young, man, I gotta tell y'all, damn, Kaitlin Young looked good in this fight. I'm talking about she looked damn good. And I mean, Kaitlin Young was able to stop those takedown attempts by Cindy. And Kaitlin was doing it, man. She would get a quick underhook, and then she would, hit Cindy with an exit strike and then get back to the center of the octagon. It was a great game plan. They prepared for this game plan. I mean, they did it. And, Kaitlin Young, they were ready. They were ready for every single time that Cindy, tried to take down. And so I thought, man, okay, so Cindy is just going to have to let her hand speak for her. Cindy, actually, her jab is so much more developed. Her jab looked good. I just wanted to see Cindy stop slapping that right hand. She would throw a nice little tight jab, and then she would slap the right hand. I was looking for like a tight left hand, and then come back with a tight right hand. Throw the right hand down the pipe on the center line. But Cindy never did that. And I think Cindy would have had much more success because what she was using was a high guard. She was using a high guard to just, that's purposely a good move for a grappler because, let's just face it, Cindy isn't going to have great head movement, okay? She actually had some in this fight, but she's not going to be slipping a lot of punches. Most of the time, Cindy's going to be blocking shots. So the high guard, to me, was a lot better for Cindy Dandois. And she did a good job, man, catching and blocking punches. This fight was a lot closer than what the judges had it. The thing is, though, the difference is that Kaitlin Young, when she landed, the strikes were so much more effective. When Cindy Dandois hit, you have a nice jab that would catch Kaitlin, but then those slapping right hands didn't do a lot of damage. Cindy had some very, very decent good leg kicks, and she had a pretty few good kicks to the body. But, as far as the striking was concerned, that's probably about it. Okay, now round three. I gave round one to Kaitlin Young. Round two, to me, was a lot closer. Okay, I had round two. I watched the fight 3 times. The first time I watched the fight, I gave rounds 1 and 2 to Kaitlin. The second time I watched the fight, I had round 1 to Kaitlin and round 2 an even draw and round 3 Cindy. So, the first time I watched the fight, I had Kaitlin winning this fight. The second time I watched it, I had Cindy Dandois. It was a draw. But, either way, I'm not going to argue. Either way you win, okay? I mean, it just is what it is. But, round 2, Cindy started to pick it up. Kaitlin Young was still hitting Cindy with those straight right hands. Kaitlin Young, man, she could have easily been a damn boxer, man, if she wanted to. She could have been because her hands were looking real good. She was catching Cindy with the 1-2, and she did that most of the night. She would like use her footwork, and that was another difference. Cindy was having difficulties cutting off the octagon. Kaitlin Young's footwork, man, I mean, it was incredible. She was using a lot of lateral movement, man. She was pivoting back to the center of the octagon. And then she was keeping Cindy at the end of her jab. And then she would pop the jab and she would come back with a right cross. And so she was catching Cindy with that. I gotta tell y'all, though, Cindy Dandois got a chin. Damn. Cindy Dandois got a chin, man. That girl can take a punch. And it's like Cindy was walking through every single punch that Kaitlin Young had. She's walking through it. It was crazy. And then Cindy started putting that pressure in round two and started landing some of her own strikes, started landing some great leg kicks, a couple of body kicks, and that closed out round two. Now round three, Cindy said, "Fuck it, look, I'm finna take whatever I'm gonna take, but I'm getting this fight to the ground," and that's what she did. Cindy, hit Kaitlin Young with a nice judo toss, and she landed on top. But Kaitlin Young, man, she's strong. She got up, and Cindy, I don't know, man, she caught Kaitlin in like a form of a guillotine, and she twisted Caitlin's neck. I said, "Oh hell, whoa, what the hell?" I said, "Whoa, Kaitlin caught in the web, Kaitlin caught in the web." But man, I gotta give Kaitlin Young credit, man, because that would have finished most fighters, man. That would have got a lot of people up out of there, man. But Kaitlin Young survived that, man. She survived it, and she went on to win the fight. Now I disagree with the judges. The judges gave all the rounds to Kaitlin Young. Nah. I mean, I don't even know what fight they could have been watching. But guys, again, this is my gripe with judging. Okay, just judging in combat sports, period, man. And I was talking to Randa Marcos about this on Tuesday. Like, it's crazy that these people judging these fights, man, they have no prior fight experience. They have none. And these are people that are judging the fights. The commission, they've got to do something, man, about the validity of people judging these fights. They got to, man. Because it's getting to the point now where you're having just a lot of dumb decisions being rendered because the judges are really, truly inept at their job. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're watching. They don't know that, like you got a grappler like Cindy, that's trying to get a submission, that counts as offense. If you're sitting there trying to get submissions, that counts as offense. Okay? You're trying to submit somebody. But judges, they don't take that. They just take it as you just standing there. And I mean, I shake my head, man. The fight was closer, guys. The fight was a lot closer. Now, you can see that the strikes were very close. The difference is, though, Kaitlin Young's strikes to me were more effective. So I can understand why a judge would see that Kaitlin Young won the fight. So I'm not disagreeing with the decision. I had it either a draw or for Kaitlin Young. But I'm just saying that giving Kaitlin all 3 rounds, this is why we have a need that we need to really truly get an overhaul in the judging program. I mean, we don't have any retired referees that want to be a judge. We don't have any former coaches and trainers. We don't have any former fighters. There's plenty of fighters out here on Skid Row that need some money, And these are the guys that need to go apply to be a judge. As a matter of fact, if you are a fighter, just give the fighter a test. Just give them because they're going to be able to answer all the questions, okay? If you're a former fighter, just show them a copy of your former license that you used to have as a fighter, and that should give you credentials as a judge. Or if you're a former trainer, or if you're a referee. Referees can also be great judges because they understand fights. Something, man, that's going to change the overhaul and how these fights are done, because there's so many fighters training their asses off. They're paying, these fees to these gyms. They're paying, their managers. They're paying promoters. They're doing all of this stuff, and they're killing their body for 10 to 8 weeks. And then you come in there and just have somebody who don't know what the hell they're doing. It's frustrating. And I know it's frustrating as a fighter, but it's frustrating as a fan. And guys, in 2020 and 2021 alone, there have been so many bad decisions. But guys, tell me what you think about this fight, man. So Kaitlin Young got 3 points. Congrats to Kaitlin Young. I tell you what, man. I think Kaitlin Young, and I'm just be honest with y'all. I think if Kaitlin Young fights Kayla Harrison, I think Kaitlin Young can win that fight. Call me crazy. But coach, she got 10 losses. Yeah, she do. She do. But the takedown defense and what she was doing, Cindy is a judoka. Okay? Her and Kayla Harrison are both black belts. Cindy's a good judoka. No, okay, now I'm going to give you a difference, though, and I'm going to break this down for y'all. Kayla Harrison is much more athletic, and Kayla Harrison is better closing the distance than Cindy. Like, Kayla is not going to be in there flat-footed. So, there's a disparity between the two, and I want to make that clear that just because Kaitlin beat Cindy Dandois, that doesn't mean she'll beat Kayla Harrison, okay? But in close quarters, the clinching part, Kaitlin Young did a good job of actually, like, stopping all those judo attempts. She did it. And now I'm wondering. I wonder how she's going to look against Kayla Harrison.